Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be comparing the Sky Lagoon versus the Blue Lagoon and which one we think you should go to.
The Blue Lagoon is a popular geothermal spa in southwest Iceland. The spa is located in a lava field and has recently blown up on social media because of the color of the water. What you don't see on social media are the big crowds and the massive price tags that accompany a trip to the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah. The Sky Lagoon, which we visited with Viator, is a newer geothermal spa located inside Reykjavik. Although it's smaller than the Blue Lagoon, it has some perks that we really enjoyed.
For those of you who don't know us, I'm Kaylee.
I'm David.
And we run a travel and adventure vlog called Made to Explore.
We are passionate about things that get you outside and off the beaten path. If you're planning a trip to Iceland, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if you found this video useful, because we are going to be coming out with a lot more content about traveling Iceland, camping, the Highlands, everything we did over the 2 weeks we were there.
Yeah, we hit a lot of pretty insane stops, so make sure to follow along. We can't wait to share them with you. All right, let's get into it. So here are some of the biggest similarities and differences between the Sky Lagoon and the Blue Lagoon in Iceland.
The first thing we're going to be comparing is location. The Sky Lagoon is located on the west side of the island in Reykjavik, which means you're going to get some stunning sunsets if you go there in the evening like we did, and we definitely recommend doing that.
We booked a tour here with Viator, which included private round-trip transportation from our hotel. One of the biggest perks about the Sky Lagoon is that it is super easy to access if you are staying in Reykjavik. So you can actually walk here from the town center, you can take a public bus, or you can take a taxi or a private transfer like we did in our tour. Anyway, you go about it, pretty easy to access.
Way better than getting to the Blue Lagoon, which is closer to the airport, about an hour outside of Reykjavik. This is going to be a lot more expensive or complicated when it comes to public transport.
So public transfers from either Reykjavik or the airport start at approximately $60 US. So that's per person. It's actually pretty steep for a public bus.
For sure.
The second thing we're going to compare is size and capacity. So the Blue Lagoon is absolutely massive. It's one of the biggest geothermal spas in the world. It is about 8,700 square meters, but they have a max capacity of 4,000 guests, which is huge. That's a lot of people going in and out of the Blue Lagoon. So if you break down the amount of space total at the Blue Lagoon by how many people are going to be there, it's about
2.2 meters per person?
Yeah, 2.2 square meters per person, which is not a lot of space when you think about the fact that you're like sitting and soaking and the next person is going to be well within your personal space bubble, in our opinion. The Sky Lagoon is closer to 2,200 square meters, so much smaller than the Blue Lagoon, but they have a max capacity of 550 people. Typically, they try to keep it to 300 to 350 people at one time. So although it is smaller, if you break that down, it's about 6.3 square meters per person. So it's actually a lot more space that you will have at the Sky Lagoon.
Number 3 is crowds. So based on our last point about size and capacity, the crowds at Blue Lagoon are going to be a lot more dense. The reason for that, we think, is because Blue Lagoon has piled a ton of money into advertising and marketing, and they've done a really good job. First thing you see when you walk out of your flight is huge photos of like the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
And this is going to be one of the reasons why it's so crowded, is they've done such an amazing job. They do have that blue water, but the Sky Lagoon is much more enjoyable because you're not going to get those massive crowds.
Yeah, you're not like, I think everybody goes there as well to get the photo of being at the Blue Lagoon. And with everybody running around trying to take photos and trying to capitalize on space, it's not a very relaxing atmosphere at all. Whereas we were at the Sky Lagoon on a Friday night. We stayed for hours, watched the sunset, and there was other people around, but we always found a quiet place to sit, and we never felt overcrowded or like we were waiting in lines. This video is sponsored by Viator, who made our booking easy and hassle-free. We were able to browse thousands of experiences in Iceland from local tour providers and choose the one that best suited our needs. We actually didn't know much about the Sky Lagoon before we started looking on Viator. We were looking at the Blue Lagoon, and we're so happy that we found this tour to the Sky Lagoon instead. Number 4 is the price difference. So the price difference between the Blue Lagoon and the Sky Lagoon is absolutely absurd, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Iceland is so expensive, as you already know.
So for the most basic access to the Blue Lagoon, which doesn't include a transportation, it doesn't include any access to the spa, is between $84 and $124 US. So that's just your entrance. I think you get a towel and one mud mask or something like that. But it's very minimal and quite expensive.
Your dollar is not going to go very far here.
No, so if you want full access to the spa and a private changing room and all of those luxurious things that they market so well, it is going to cost at least $325 per person. And that's not even including your transfer to get there. So that to us, that was a deal breaker. We were like, this is absolutely absurd. Our tour, which we booked with Viator, included round-trip transportation, a private change room, and access to the entire 7-step ritual. So that means we got to go in the cold plunge pool, the lagoon, the panoramic sauna, which was incredible.
Have to do it.
Yeah. The cold mist, we got to have a body scrub, there's a steam room, so there's just so much more. For both of us to do that whole tour cost less than one of us to do the spa entry at the Blue Lagoon.
Wild.
Yeah. So at the Sky Lagoon, the most basic entrance, which again just includes basically a soak in the lagoon, is around $50, which is much better than the Blue Lagoon.
Oh yeah.
And to have access to the entire 7-step ritual, a private changing room, all of these kind of luxurious amenities, it's only about $94 per person, which
much more reasonable.
Yeah, much more reasonable.
And for what you're getting, it's worth it. Number 5 is the overall experience. When we arrived at the Sky Lagoon, the staff was really nice. We were escorted to our private changing rooms and shown how to use the lockers, where to change, what to do, where to go. And it was just really nice. Very calm. The architecture is really, really nice. The technology that they have going on there is really nice.
Yeah.
They have wristbands for locking the lockers. Really easy to lock and unlock.
Yeah, it was very luxurious, and it was just cool that we didn't have to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get this luxurious experience.
Yeah.
If you had the money to do the full spa at the Blue Lagoon, I'm sure it would be amazing, but not everyone has like $700 kicking around for a spa day. So the price for the Sky Lagoon and the experience is just like,
yeah,
it's out of this world.
And it might have been a little better for us because we had previously just been camping in a 4x4 camper for 14 days. So coming here was just like
such a treat.
Blowing us away.
Yeah, such a treat. Time for the verdict. Is the Sky Lagoon better than the Blue Lagoon?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you are looking for that Blue Lagoon Instagram worthy photo and you're willing to pay a lot for it, that's the only time that I would recommend going to the Blue Lagoon. Otherwise, the Sky Lagoon is amazing. There's other lagoons around Iceland too that have blue water, way less money. I think the Blue Lagoon is just really overhyped.
It is, for sure. If you guys are interested in checking out the Sky Lagoon when you are visiting Iceland, we would highly recommend it. We'll link our tour through Viator in the description below if you want to check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video and found it useful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because we're going to have a lot more content coming out, especially around Iceland.
Yeah, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you in the next one.